Market update here on the 16th. Getting this out later than normal, but better late than never. This move down today, down about 1%. I think we've about bottomed on this move. If you watched my videos a couple videos ago, I was talking about 362, 363. We're about there. We are there pretty much. I think tomorrow could be like a red day. Start off red and then bounce. That's kind of my thoughts on it. You can see here that we basically hit the target here. The 1.61 fib is like 360, 180. So we're basically there. And we have zigzag and then X wave and then it's ABC, bounce, ABC, double three. So zigzag, bounce, double three. So we're basically hitting that, and it might have one more move down tomorrow, in my opinion. If it goes down like lower than 360, then I'd be very surprised. Basically what I'm saying here. As far as a bounce goes, if we bounce from here, just looking at the dollar and then looking at some of the charts, I think that I'm leaning towards a really extended fourth wave. So I think this is going to end up being something like this. This is basically what I think the minimum it's going to do. Probably going to go all the way down here to, I don't think we're going to go to 380. 380 is kind of a far move. That would be a 5% move. We could go to 380. But we're about to bounce, in my opinion. But I don't think that this move is finished. And I talked about it in videos probably a month ago that we had a shallow second wave. So usually the fourth wave is going to be more deep. So I'm actually favoring this move right here. I don't know how high it's going to go and how long it will last. But if it's an ABC move, then I would think it could be WXY too. So we just don't know right now. But if it's a B wave, I would be looking for it to last about a month. But again, I think that it's more likely we get an X wave at this point. I think it's more likely we get something up here to like 372 to 375, maybe into this supply zone again, and then come down. If that happens, then you'd be looking at probably something all the way down here to 347, and that makes sense because that's also the 1.61 fib. So again, I'd be very cautious here if you're buying stocks, but we should have a bounce over the next, I would say, probably a week or two. So that's kind of my thoughts going forward. It could last longer than that. It could last up to a month because this is about a month long, and then we're going to see another move down, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to see a fifth wave right now. I think we see this down, and then we see a fifth wave higher. So what does that mean for Tesla and stocks like this? It still means that they're going to see a bounce too. But this fourth wave might last a lot longer. And honestly, it might not even be a fourth wave. It might be the start of a B wave here. We came down pretty far. If it comes down here to 217, then that's invalidating the 5-wave move. Because originally we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is still possible. But from what I see on QQQ, I think it's actually likely that we have this. We could have this as well. Something down here. And then get 5 waves up later in the year. So even if it did that, let's say it bottoms tomorrow at 222. Just see what the 1.61 fib is sitting around 188. So even if it does that, then you're looking at, you're still looking at a big move higher. It would just be completely different than what was originally planned. Remember on the log chart that this actually did not get outside the parallel line. And I'm kind of kicking myself for not using the log chart, because I used the regular chart and it got outside the parallel line. It's still possible there's 5 waves, but on the log chart you can see we clearly did not make it outside of the parallel line, so it's actually ABC. So again, this doesn't affect this move right here at all. It's just kind of projections over the next couple of weeks, and I think this is likely right here now. And that would also mean that the whole move is actually going to end up being something like that. So still, 5-wave move is still possible, but it cannot break into 218. If it breaks into 218, that would pretty much confirm that we're going to see an ABC move lower, and then we're going to see 5 waves up. So 2 pass in here, but if it bounces, if we get a bounce over the next couple of weeks, and 188, which is kind of my projection based on the 1.61 fib, there's a lot of gaps on this chart. I guess not a lot. Is there a gap right here? There's a gap right here on a lower time frame around 242 and 245, and then we have the gap up here around 290. So that's the biggest gap you can see. That would be a big bounce. That's probably not going to happen. So we got to look at somewhere around the 0.38 fib minimum. So I would be looking for a minimum bounce to about probably 242 to 245. So those would be kind of the bounce area you'd be looking for. That's minimum. Maximum, probably not going to get all the way up here to 289. Maybe 248 to 255. Unless the 5-wave move plays out, which I don't expect to play out yet. So, and then just zooming in here on the smaller time frames, I think this move is pretty much finished. You can see we basically hit the 1.61 fib. It came a little bit past it though, so that's kind of a little bit worrying, but what I'm looking at now is in the weekly chart. We have the 20 DMA sitting right below where it's at. So again, if we get a red day tomorrow, like in the morning and then bounce, I would be looking for this to hit the 20 DMA, hopefully hold this demand zone, and then start a bounce. If you look at standard deviations, again, we're still not even to the mean yet on the weekly, but on the daily, we're getting to the outside extreme oversold. 4 hour, we're already outside of it. So again, this should bounce, but I'm not sure about the 5-wave move right now. We'll see what kind of bounce we get. At the worst, ABC, and then a 5-wave move higher. Here's another reason why I think we're going to bounce on QQQ. Apple is about to hit its gap fill at 175.82. So once that hits its gap fill, Tesla's hit its gap fill, this should bounce. And again, another reason why we're likely to not make a 5-wave move and a 5th wave yet is because Apple 5-wave move, so this has to be an A wave. If this has to be an A wave, then we got to get a B wave and we got to go lower. We don't necessarily have to go lower. It could bounce all the way up here and go right here, but we're probably going to make a B wave to at least like 185 and then lower, but potentially up here to 195. Probably not though. So again, this is showing that we have an A bounce and another move down, similar to what I'm expecting on QQQ. And Microsoft as well has not filled its gap as well at 316.66, and it's very close. So if we get red tomorrow morning, this fills this gap, Apple fills this gap, Tesla hits a 20 DMA, Amazon is very close to hitting, let's see, so Amazon a little bit more down, maybe, it's basically right there, it's ready to bounce as well. So yeah, I think a bounce is on the horizon, And one of the reasons that I really think that the ABC move is going to take a while on QQQ is the dollar. So you're putting the pieces together when you look at all these charts. They're all about to gap fill. They've all made really -2 standard deviation moves. So they're all like ready to bounce. And then you look at the dollar here. So we got this move right here. I consider that A. Then we bounce A. And then we get A, B, C, which is a B wave. Comes down past the A wave. So more than likely, this is going to be an expanded flat. Target all the way up here to potentially like 107, potentially all the way up here to 110. And so then you look at this where this is at. This could be the end of it because it is a 5-wave move. I'm expecting like 103.80. So 103.80. This could be the end of the move if we're looking at it as a running flat. No, actually it can't. I would want to see like 104.55. So the most likely route from here, if this is wave 1, which I think is 5 waves, is wave 1, pullback, like that. And so this pullback should go together with a bounce on all the tech names and probably SPY too. I'll go over SPY in a second. But if we hit 103.80, the 1.61 fib is sitting around 106.31. Let's just say pull back to 105.22. And you're looking at maybe 109. So we're looking at a pretty big move for the B wave. This would be the overall B wave. And then you're going to get this move down here. Let's just see. My target was 93. Let's just see if it comes close to that. And yeah, it comes very close. So 5 waves and then a move down. So this is actually predicting. And then if you also take AB here. So AB took from February all the way to July. That's about 5.5 months. So I would expect this 5-wave move to last about 2.5 to 3 months. So it started on July 14th. I would look for something into early October for this move to be higher. So that means QQQ is likely to bounce with a second wave and then go lower. So that's pretty much what I see overall on all these names. They're ready to bounce tomorrow, going into Friday, I think. And the dollar should be starting to pull back here going into the end of the week as well. So should be some relief coming over the next couple of days. So that'll be nice. But I would be very cautious and look for another move down here in the next couple of weeks. I don't think we're going to get that 5th wave right away. I think it's going to be at the earliest, like early October. And if it changes, then I'll make a video about it and give my thoughts. So that's it for this one. I didn't do all the tickers, but they're all pretty much the same theme, looking for a bounce tomorrow. I'll leave it at that. Make sure you like and subscribe for more videos. Talk to you in the next one.